Good evening, everyone. Arkansas Weather Watchers. This is Cameron back here again, and I'm here to show you guys the potential of a pattern change as we get towards this upcoming weekend due to the next 6 to 14 days. So I sent you the 8 14 days, so I might as well start with this. This is what's going to end up as we get towards middle of the month and towards the late of the month. The Climate Prediction Center is wanting to forecast below normal readings across a good bit of the United States, except for the far southeastern half of the United States here, as cold air potentially could make its way back into the United States here. But for the 6 to 10 day outlook, this pattern is very, very interesting. I've seen this pattern happen so many times, it's ridiculous. What you've got going on right now with this pattern here is you're going to have ridging that's going to take place across Alaska, okay? Hence the above normal temperatures out there. However, um, when ridging takes place, yes, it sends down cold air, but with a negative PNA, you don't have blocking across the western half of the United States. So what's going to happen is ridging takes place, all right, dislodges the cold air, but instead of it getting sent this way, it's going to get sent. Hold on, I'm going to change my color of my key real quick. Okay, instead of it getting sent that way, it's going to be sent this way into the western half of the United States here. So that's going to mean that you're going to have a pattern just like this. High pressure over here. Alright. See if I can get that just right. A big dip in the jet stream. That's going to go just like that. And then you're going to have ridging, your southeast ridge, starting to build back in. Alright. That's the reason why you're going to have temperature spiking into the 70s as we get towards early and mid part of this week here, because you're going to have temperatures on the other side of this jet, 30s, 40s, wintertime. On the flip side, you're going to have spring-like temperatures in the 70s and possibly some 80s. Some near record high temperatures could be realized this week, guys. I've seen some computer model guidance that's wanting to put 76, 77 degrees down here in South Arkansas, and those type of temperatures in February never add up good in terms of severe weather-wise. So your cold air is going to be filtered down into the western and central half of the United States. Arkansas is going to be kind of that battle zone, all right? And you're going to have these little low pressures, these little impulses in the atmosphere that's going to ride along that jet and ride along that high pressure, and that could potentially bring one winter precipitation to far northwest Arkansas. So as of right now, if you were to ask for my opinion for winter precipitation chances here in the natural state, I know you guys have seen some sources saying that we're going to have this big winter storm as we get towards later in the week. I don't think that's going to happen. With this particular pattern, the best chance of seeing winter precipitation is either going to be right there at far northwest Arkansas or just northwest of the state. This is probably going to be the Texas Panhandle over to Oklahoma, Missouri, Kansas. This area in here, I would watch out for the potential of winter precipitation. Okay, in terms of severe weather-wise, all right. And now this particular pattern can have both. You could have winter weather and severe weather. Severe weather-wise, I would watch out from northeast Texas, northern Louisiana, central and south Arkansas. This is where I would watch out for the potential of some isolated severe weather with these impulses that are moving through the atmosphere. Simply the fact that you're going to have high pressure here, and I realize that's the most awkward high I've ever seen. And they're going to be providing southerly winds, and your winds are going to be coming out of southwest. So with a progressive pattern over the state, with these impulses moving through, that will limit the amount of instability that will happen in the natural state. But with these impulses that are moving through, given the heating in the atmosphere, given the instability and the amount of shear, you could look at the potential of some isolated severe weather down here in central and south Arkansas as we get towards the middle of the week. As Storm Prediction Center said in their day 4 to day 8 outlook right now, it is very, very uncertain to pinpoint who's going to see what, but some severe weather could ultimately materialize across this area in here from the Texas area over into the mid-south with these little impulses of the atmosphere that are going to be riding through here. So, guys, like I said before, the best shot of seeing winter precipitation probably for the next 6 to 10 days is going to be for our folks up there in northwest Arkansas and points northwest from there. Central and south, I don't think it's going to get that far south. We will have a frontal boundary that will move through. All right, and with that frontal boundary that will kick us back into winter, that's the reason why we have a 8 to 14 day outlook for below normal for the natural state. And what's going to be happening here, like I said before, you're going to have high pressure right here, all right, in Alaska. That's going to be pumping in warm air into Alaska. It's going to be dislodging that cold air. But this time around, you're going to have more of the United States filtered in with that cold air instead of having just northwest of the state. So 8 to 14 day towards mid-month and the late month, that's where I would buy the potential, probably some winter precipitation chances here in the natural state, given that your southeast ridge is going to act as a lift. And what's going to be happening is you're going to have these systems that are come out of the southwest down here in Texas and move points northeast along that ridge. So that's where you have the potential of seeing some winter precipitation chances as you get towards mid-month and the late month. But for as far as early month at this time, I don't buy the entire state. I'm buying just far northwest Arkansas at this current time here, guys. So I'm going to go ahead and show you guys some computer model guidance. This blog's not going to be too terribly long tonight. There's not really too much to discuss on this Friday evening. But as said before with the GFS, as you can clearly see with the pattern, as you get towards Wednesday, temperatures are going to be really high, guys. I'm going to show y'all temperatures real fast before I get into precipitation here. But we could possibly see some record high temperatures being realized as we get towards mid to early to midweek. Natural state here. It's going to feel a lot like spring getting towards that summer time frame with overnight lows in the 60s and daytime highs in the 70s to even near 80 degrees. I think the GFS may be overdoing temperatures a little bit, but it's got temperatures hitting that 70, 71, 72 degree mark with moisture and instability really feeling into the state here. All right, so it's a wait and see deal, but you will have a frontal boundary that will move through on Friday. So Friday will have to be watched for the potential for squall line with this frontal boundary here, because you will have temperatures 70, 71, 72 out ahead of the front and near freezing behind the front. So almost a 40-degree temperature difference out ahead of the front and behind the front. This front looks to come through in the afternoon hours on Friday, so that that does not help us really well in terms of severe weather-wise. But it gets front out here on Friday night into Saturday here. And Saturday's temperature is going to be in the 40s, near 50 degrees if you were to go with the GFS model here. But this is the reason why I'm saying far northwest Arkansas has the better shot of seeing winter precipitation chances here across the natural state, because the simple fact that, like I said before, you're going to have a southeast ridge down here, you're going to have an Arctic high up here, and it's going to be the jet that's going to be moving over our heads. So it's still a wait and see deal at this current time here. If, and I mean if, the Arctic high is strong enough to outpower the southeast ridge, that will shift the jet over our heads, and that's where you bring more of Arkansas into the winter precipitation chances. But as of right now, I don't really see that happening. If you go with Euro, now Euro kind of throws that side mark with this here, and I'm gonna go ahead and show y'all this real fast here. And I don't know if the Euro has changed since the last time I looked at it or what, but last time I took a peek at it, it had a transition from northwest Arkansas down to southeast Arkansas late in the week, but I think it has refute against that idea, but it is a little faster with the cold air, so you would have to watch out for the potential, possibly a brief changeover to winter events across the natural state as we get towards late Thursday night and Friday, with that frontal boundary is going to move through. Now, if you go per Euro, the severe weather threat on Friday will be a lot lower because the front will be out of here. If you go per GFS, the front was slowed down enough for it to be getting out of here during the heating of the day on Friday, so that would lead to the potential of some severe weather across central and south Arkansas on Friday here. So my overall thoughts with this pattern, the pattern does shape up to bring some potential winter precipitation chances to northwest Arkansas and points northwest. 8 to 14 days we get towards late in the month, we could see possibly some winter precipitation chances occur here in the natural state as we get towards mid month and into late month. But for right now, I don't see much of happening except if you live in far northwest Arkansas. And with this particular pattern, I've seen patterns like this shape up before where you've had the potential of severe weather, you've had the potential of flooding, you also had the potential of ice. And I'm going to go ahead and show y'all that real fast here where you have your southeast ridge out here and your jet that comes just like that. So that puts Texas, Oklahoma, Missouri, Kansas, probably far northwest Arkansas for the potential winter precipitation here. Possibly some ice could occur with these impulses that are moving through. But if this southeast ridge is weaker, that pushes for the southeast, and that's where we're going to start talking about the state here. So, guys, stay tuned for the very latest. Thank you guys for tuning into this blog on this Friday night, and y'all have a good rest of your evening.